Hey guys, John here. Welcome to NASCAR 6 Total Team Control. So, let me get the mic move there a bit. So, what happened is I basically didn't have my mic on when I recorded 2 episodes of this Let's Play. It's pretty frustrating, but you know, whatever. I have the footage, that's the most important thing. If I'd lost the video, that would have been worse. I thought about just putting this up without commentary. I decided that I would at the very least do a little post commentary and just kind of remark here and there. If I find that there's nothing interesting to say, I just won't say anything, or maybe edit something out, whatever. But anyway, I started dead last in the truck race at Martinsville here. As you know, I had to skip qualifying to do that one race. So, started last, and like, I was kind of in a state of mind that I didn't really care if I was making people mad. So you'll notice that I was just basically barreling it into the corner and slamming into people. Pretty jerky thing to do, all told, but the truck was pretty fast, and I know from experience that your best bet is just drive it in deep to get to the inside of somebody. I just wasn't doing a very good job of staying off of them after that point, but yeah, so I mean, I ruffled a few feathers. I didn't really care. It's been really frustrating with all the stuff going on with the Nationwide car. All the contract issues and all that stuff going on. So, you know, at the end of the day, I just decided that I didn't really care anymore. I just want to contend in the rides that I do have, and I think we're still in with an okay chance in the truck series, points wise. We're a bit behind, but if we could start putting together a bunch of wins, we could make it happen. So going into this, I was just planning for that. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna freaking give this my all. And so, yeah, like you see here, just driving in deep, bumping into people, making people mad, not even caring in the slightest. Holy crap, this neighborhood is so loud. Stop it. Anyway, yeah, just making up some ground pretty quickly. As you can see, we've made our way all the way up to the top 10 after 9 laps, so pretty darn good. It was a testament to the truck for sure. It's amazing what difference there is when you're when you're trying to win in a car that has no speed or bad handling or whatever, and then you get into a good team like this one, and you know, it's not that it's easy, but it's just a night and day difference. I mean, it does help that I do know Martinsville, know the track, have a good feel for it, stuff like that, but it really wasn't even about that. I had the speed that enabled me to drive aggressively, and I did very aggressively as it turns out. But yeah, so mostly I was just thinking about getting to the front as quickly as possible, figuring out my strategy from there. Obviously, my usual goal is to make it past halfway before I pit, so that I'm guaranteed to not have to pit again. And beyond that, I don't even know for sure what I was talking about at this point. I can't even remember. It was probably complaining about the Nationwide stuff and comparing the differences, much like I was just a minute ago. So probably not a lot different. I don't know if... No, I talked about that in the last episode, where I was saying possibly doing the third season being just like a bonus just for fun series where we cheat in some money so that we can get good vehicles, and then have some fun with that. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. We'll see. I do know that I got a comment from someone who was saying that I should maybe lower the difficulty to get back in the swing of things. I don't know that that would really matter as much. I kind of just feel like, I mean, yeah, I might be able to get better finishes, but I don't think that's going to keep me a nationwide ride. I honestly think that I'm going to get fired every few races, no matter if I do good or not. Oh yeah, that was frustrating. We got hooked together. That happened. No caution. None. I was so aggravated by that. That was really not my fault, I don't think, but whatever. Anyway. So yeah. I think we're probably going to get fired every couple of races, regardless of, even if we won every race, I'm pretty sure we'd get fired. There's some sort of a glitch, and I think it has to do with that team prestige thing. At first I was thinking that only applied when you owned a team, but no, that's not the case, and we're getting 0 prestige every time we run a nationwide race, whether we do good or not. So I think there's a glitch. I don't know how to fix that. It could be our save file is just permanently glitched to never have a good deal in the nationwide. So I really don't know what to do, because you can't get a cup deal unless you've run, a season or two in the nationwide. So I'm not really sure what the future holds. We're gonna ride this out. We're gonna hopefully contend for a truck championship. I think we pretty much got the modified sewed up for the 2nd year in a row, and then we're gonna see. I don't think we're gonna have enough money to buy a nationwide car, but we could buy like our own truck team. But I'm pretty sure that's the only way we're gonna get through this, is to be able to buy a nationwide car ourselves, because then we won't get fired at least. But we're not going to have the money for that unless we do like 20 seasons of trucks and modifieds. I think it's weird. I don't really know what to do. If we can't find a solution, we might have to do something else. I really don't know. Something else I think I touched on during this, if I didn't touch on it before, the series I was doing of NASCAR The Game Inside Line, the chase for the cup thing. Definitely going to be doing those more. I know, there hasn't been an episode for a while. Basically, when I was recovering some of those lost files on that old hard drive, or not old hard drive, but previous hard drive, I think I recovered the 2 missing races from that series. So I'm trying to find the audio recording, for my commentary, and I think I might actually put those up, kind of like I did with the Mario Kart Road to 7,000 videos. How I went back and uploaded the ones that had been lost. It'll be out of order in a sense, but then the playlist itself will have them in the right order. I think I can probably do that, in which case that series will be mostly complete. I think there was one episode I lost that I'll never get back, but I think I found 2 of them. So whatever the case, yeah, so I might be putting those up in the near future if I can find the audio recording, and we'll be moving forward with that beyond there. That series wasn't really meant to be anything particularly special. I just wanted to kind of have a filler series at that point, and then I was just going to drop it once I got back into this and Dirt to Daytona. Well, then I had the issue where I just cannot record Dirt to Daytona. Oh my freaking gosh, I forgot about this. That was so annoying right there. I was really mad about that too. We just got hooked together. As soon as I touched her, there was just no way to go. It just turned me right around. But anyway, yeah, so I'm not currently able to record Dirt to Daytona, and So that's why you haven't seen that. So I figured, also you guys were really liking, especially that first episode of Inside Line Chase for the Cup. It got a ton of views, so I was like, well, I guess I should, continue it. So that's why I brought that back, and then I lost episodes, and then I just wasn't sure, and blah blah blah. Anyway, point is, I am going to be continuing it. I'm hopefully going to be able to get some of those lost episodes up and then record new ones. So that's something to look forward to, but that's only a short-term thing because it was only ever meant to be a 10 race, 10 episode series, whatever. Because Inside Line is a broken game that really doesn't make a lot of sense most of the time, and I could not sit through a 36 race season. There's just no way. This game is broken enough and drives me crazy enough without that, so yeah. So going forward, what does that mean? Like, if I can't fix the issue with this going forward, I don't know if starting over would help, and besides that, I really don't want to have to start over, we could do the thing where I cheat in some money and just buy a nationwide team with it and don't use that money for anything else. And it doesn't even have to be a great nationwide team. It just has to be a team that I know won't get fired from. That would be an option. Also, by the way, that was a great restart, was it not? My crew got me out further up than I was, and then I just blasted past those guys because they were hung up fighting against these lap trucks trying to get back on the lead lap. So that worked out really nice, didn't it? But anyway, yeah, so that would be an option, and aside from that, I don't know what my options are, because I don't know if I'll ever be able to get Dirt to Daytona back. It's possible that it'll always be a problem. I really need to try to dig into it to figure out what was causing it. For whatever reason, and I don't know if I ever explained this properly, but like when I record this, it's my Xbox 360. If I record Inside Line, it's my PS3. Those work fine. You have the little preview window of your capture card. It pops up. It shows you what's happening. You know that your recording is going, all that. Just one day out of nowhere, when I was trying to record some Dirt to Daytona, which is a GameCube game. I mean, there are other versions of it, but I own the GameCube version, and I was, as always, playing it in my Nintendo Wii, and I was recording that. It was connected to the capture card, and the capture just froze. It showed nothing, and it wouldn't record. And I don't know why. It just did that out of nowhere. Now, I haven't done extensive tests with it other than, that first day when it happened. So it could have been like a temporary issue. Maybe it would work again if I tried now. I doubt it. And I really wasn't able to find anything that explained why it would happen. I thought it might be related to my graphics card issues. And now that I have a new graphics card, it would definitely be worth trying again to see if that was maybe the problem. But at the end of the day, I'm not convinced of that. Anyway, I guess I should mention while we go forward here that at this point I was really concerned about Chaffin there in the 30. He was pretty much staying with me lap by lap. I'd gain a little, then lose a little, gain a little, then lose a little. I never got very far away from him at this point, and it was very stressful. I think I was complaining about my hands cramping up at some point, because it was just like I was trying to get my line perfect, and I did a few of these laps. You'll notice the lap times were really good, but he was just staying with me, and so it was a really intense part. I know I'm just kind of rambling about other things, kind of taken away from the experience here, and I'm sorry about that. I thought about just making this a video with no commentary and just letting you guys watch the races, but I feel like, this is a Let's Play channel. Part of the reason that we get to do what we do is that if you commentate on a video like this, it becomes more than just a gameplay video. It becomes a Let's Play. So that's why I'm doing this, just because it doesn't make sense to do that differently. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna look into if I can fix the issue I had with recording Dirt to Daytona, because I want to fix that anyway. There are, um, Wii and GameCube games. Well, I don't have to worry about Wii games. I can play those on the Wii U, and that's fine. But GameCube games, I can only play on either the original Wii or the GameCube itself. And I haven't tried it with the GameCube itself because I prefer the up conversion I get, the upscaling that I get from playing it on the Wii. It's much easier to, get good quality from that. I guess if I had to, I could try using the GameCube, but I'd have to dig that out. I had that packed away for the move, and I've definitely not had to get it out anytime recently. So yeah, Dirt to Daytona might return. If I can ever figure out what's going on there, I would definitely like to do that. I like that game. We were getting somewhere with that, and you guys definitely seem to enjoy it. See what I mean about this? Look at this. It's back to just 310s. Like, he closed it right back up again. This was a very intense situation. I was mirror driving more than anything. Like, I pretty much had my lane mostly figured out, and I was just kind of like watching him back there. It was crazy. But yeah, so as far as the rest of it, I don't know. I know I mentioned getting NASCAR 15. I was gonna do that during the summer sale, but for whatever reason they decided that it wasn't gonna be on sale. And I know you can make a case for saying it's not that old. Why would it be on sale? It's already, cheaper than a full price game. And that's true. But everything I've seen as far as the reviews say that it's basically NASCAR 14 with a bit of polish and a few patches that the other games should have had and didn't get. And that it's not that good. So I'm just kind of hesitant about it. I know NASCAR 16 is going to be a completely different experience. You're going to have a completely different team of people working on it. You're going to have the guys that were responsible for the Thunder games. They're going to be doing it, and it's going to be, I think, a much better deal than what U-Technics has been doing. The funny thing about U-Technics is when they first got involved with all this, we all had high hopes for those games. Because U-Technics was very open. They were talking to us in the community. I know that that one guy, Dave T, I talked to him on Twitter a few times. I was one of the ones that was rallying for a PC release, which we eventually got for a couple of the games there, which was something that really wasn't even being talked about in the beginning. And they also supported the videos that I did. And it was a really cool experience because I thought, okay, this first game, not so great, but they're working on it, so the next ones will be good. Wow, he got really close there. But as it turned out, that wasn't the case. The games got progressively worse each time, in my opinion. I mean, Inside Line, I shouldn't say that. Inside Line was the second game. It was better than 2011. Everything beyond Inside Line was basically a travesty. I have to say. 13, 14, 15. I mean, I haven't played 15, but just going by what people say, they're just not good. And I'm not saying every game that ever came out for NASCAR was good. That's not true. But as much time as they had to work on stuff, as much feedback as they had, as much community interaction as they had, you'd think they would have known that certain things needed to be fixed and actually done it. But that's not the case. They did not. So, whatever. It is what it is. Anyway, back to the action at hand. You can see he's a quarter of a second, 3/10 of a second. So close that he was trying to set me up there to look underneath me a couple of times. Here we are at 2 to go, and I was really, really stressed at this point. There's a couple other guys that caught up too, because basically If he had gotten by, I'm pretty sure he would have checked out. Pretty sure he was faster than me in a sense. I was just taking his line away from him. Sorry about that, had to cough. But yeah, I was basically just doing everything that I could possibly do at this point. And it worked. As you can see, coming around here, I held him off, and we won, starting last. And it was such a relief when that race was over. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed. This isn't all that would have been in this particular episode. I do go on to, and you know, I was basically looking to see if I led the most laps, and I did. Well, actually I tied for the most laps led, but I got the full amount of bonus points. But anyway, after this I do qualifying, I believe. So yeah, still got that to look forward to. But you can see there I got prestige points for that. I do not own that team, so clearly yeah, there's an issue with this game. There's definitely an issue with this game. But anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So yeah, the E14 thing turned out to be a total flop. And that was depressing because of all the promise that they showed and the fact that we really, you know, after going through 2010 without a NASCAR game, it almost looked like maybe they weren't going to happen at all. And then, and 09 was really bad, honestly. But then there was suddenly this supposed saving grace, and that move right there where I shaved time off coming out of the last turn to get that was so good. Anyway, it all ended up not working out, and so hopefully, you know, this new thing that's going to happen, this new group that was basically the old group, hopefully they can make, I got way wider, hopefully they can make NASCAR 16 a fantastic game. At the very least, a game that works. It boggles my mind, though, that you had a game like this, NASCAR 06, and I'm not saying it didn't have its problems, but it had 4 series in it, and the whole team control aspect where you could switch from one car to another and do all these things, and it worked really well. I mean, the glitch I'm having right now, I'm not even sure that most people would even experience this. I almost wonder if it's because I'm playing it on a 360 through the backwards compatibility, if that's happening. You see there, third in the points, 66 back. So we're still in with a chance in the Truck Series. But anyway, that was where that episode would have ended, by the way. And then we would have launched into this next one. But yeah, so I don't know. It could be a compatibility issue. It could be a save file error. I don't even know. But all I'm saying is there's so much in this game that is cool. So many different things that actually work. And then you see a game like NASCAR 2013 that was just awful. And all that game had to do was do one thing, the Cup Series. That's it. There's nothing else in it. I mean, I look at even some of the older ones that had like was it 2005 that had like the sports cars that was like similar to like an IROC thing that you could play. I mean, there were so many things in those games, and you know, better enemy ally tracking, or just different things like picking your pit options before you got to pit road and stuff like that. And then you come to these newer games and it's like you have one job and you can't even do that. It was just, I don't know, it's really mind-boggling that, you know, games from, you know, 2003, 2006, whatever, would be so much better. That guy really made me mad. I mean, I know I got to his outside there, but I swear he turned across to do that on purpose. I know he did. I'm sure that wasn't the case, but it really made me mad. But anyway, yeah. So it is mind-boggling that they couldn't manage to do at least one thing right, but whatever. This beginning was crazy for this race because I decided to let Harvick go, and then I just kept getting into people. And so starting on the pole really did me no good at all because I just got into a bunch of trouble and lost ground. So it's pretty funny how that worked out. But yeah, so this is a hard fought beginning to try to make up for that. But the truck was really fast, as we showed by getting the pole. And I was just determined, after getting that win at Martinsville, I thought, well, if I can start last and win, then I better win starting first. So I definitely was going to give it my all. That was dumb. I had this thought. Now, you know that, as I showed in those points, that Craven's one of the guys at the top. And I thought, you know, if I could knock him up out of the track there a little bit, that he'd lose some spots and that'd be good for me. But I didn't time it well at all. I think originally I didn't even say that. I was just going to pass it off as, whoops, I drove into the... But no, in reality, I thought, you know, I could maybe send him off the track without causing a caution. He'd lose some spots, but that was just stupidity is what that was. It's pretty funny, though. Anyhow, yeah. So, going forward, like I said, obviously we have to hope NASCAR 16 is really good. I don't know what all it's going to entail, but if they're just going to do the Cup Series, then they better gosh darn get it right. They have no excuse. Like I said, these old games had so many things going on. If they're not doing all those things, then they need to make sure the one thing they are doing is superb. And obviously they haven't been doing that. By the way, I'm working with him here just because I don't want him retaliating, so I wanted to get that rival rating down somewhat. But anyway, yeah, they don't have an excuse. They better get it right. And even then, I'm not sure how much confidence I'm going to put into it and how willing I'll be to actually pay full price for it. It's gotten to the point where, like, I don't know, before I would have gotten it at release, I would have put up videos, I would have been like, oh my gosh, look at this. And you know what? I'd probably get a lot of views. If I'd put up videos of NASCAR 15 as soon as it launched, I'll bet all of you guys and tons more would be watching it. Because you'd want to see if it was good or not. But here's the thing. I don't think that they deserve people paying full price on release day if their game is garbage. And they've been releasing garbage. They have not been testing these games, apparently, or they would see everything that's wrong with them. Now, back in the day, these games cost more, even just back a few years ago. Like, NASCAR 15 is only like $20 or whatever. But, banging into my teammate, good job. But, like, I remember getting NASCAR 2005, whatever it was. You know, it was $50. And that's a lot of money, you know. And at that point, I think I was mowing lawns to make a little money. But it was like, release day $50 for NASCAR 2005. Heck yeah, I'll do it. And funnier still, I originally bought a PS2 solely because NASCAR Thunder 2004 was not going to be on GameCube. So I bought a PlayStation 2 for that. Good thing I did, because I discovered tons of other great series that I knew nothing about that I ended up loving. But beyond that, yeah, they made good games that you wanted to buy at release day for a large prize, even buy a console for. Now, would you do that? Heck no. Heck no. And if you do, I'm sorry, you need to rethink your priorities. Spending a lot of money on a broken game, buying a console just to play a broken game, that's ridiculous. Wait, look at the reviews, see what people are saying, wait for the price to go down. Don't buy them at all in some cases. I don't know, it's a new era, except for certain things. Like, you would buy a Wii U to play Smash Brothers or Mario Kart 8. Oh my gosh, I totally messed that up. Jeez, I forgot that. That was awful. But yeah, you would buy a Wii U just to play those games, or a new Zelda, or whatever. You'd buy an Xbox One if you really wanted to play the new Halo. You would buy a PS4 to play Kingdom Hearts 3. You know, stuff that's coming out that you're just like, if you're a fan of that, you're gonna get it, because guess what? It's gonna be good. You can't say that for NASCAR games. You can't say that for most sports titles, honestly. Like, what made, you know, the EA days of NASCAR and of Madden and all these things, what made them awesome was that the games were pretty freaking good. Now, not always. I'm not gonna lie and say they were always great. There was a cutoff point for sure. But there was a few years there where, whether it was NASCAR, whether it was Madden, whether it was NCAA football, whether it was Tiger Woods golf, EA Sports had fantastic freaking games that you wanted to pay full price for year after year, even though mostly you were just updating rosters and adding a couple of new gameplay mechanics. You weren't getting much for that $50, but you were willing to put it out. You were willing to buy a console to play them. It's sad, honestly, what has become of these things. The only sports games that I played recently that year after year that I thought were great were the NBA 2K games, and I know a lot of people would disagree with me on that. But those games were very good. They're very solid, and year by year there are, you know, improvements. I didn't pay full price at release day. I definitely got them when they were cheaper, but they were games that I looked forward to. And that's the only time in recent years that I can say that. Like, I liked the F1 2012 or whatever. I didn't get 2013, 2014. I guess 2015, is it out now? I don't even know. Why is that, you might ask? 2012 was a pretty solid game. I had some fun with it. But you know what I didn't have fun with? The fact that unless you used assists and stuff like that, that playing with a controller made it pretty much impossible that career mode would ever result in a good finish for you. Maybe I was not very good at the game. I don't know. But without assists, I was just constantly getting into trouble. And one good wreck and you're done. I did add a little cut there because a bunch of laps went by where I did nothing. But I was coming up on a pit stop here pretty soon. Oh, goodness gracious. I was just so bad, too. I needed fresh tires. Did I go another? I guess I did go another lap here to stretch my fuel. But anyway. So, like, one good wreck, you're done. That's it. And, I mean, you have the rewind things, I guess, but whatever. The point is, the only fun I ever had with the game was when I was using, you know, assists. But when you use assists and you do try to do career mode where it's a higher difficulty, you're in, you know, slower cars, the game is too careful with those assists, and you end up, you know, getting a bad finish. Just because it uses too much brake or whatever. So that's why that series never actually continued. I just didn't see the point to it. It didn't strike me as something that people would want to see, and that was bad there. I slowed down thinking that the the speeding line was further back, and I slowed down way too much. So I lost some time here, to be sure. But anyway, and it left me not really caring about getting the F1 games that came out after that, because I figured it'd just be more of the same. Not that it was a bad game, it just didn't suit my playstyle, so I wasn't enthusiastic about getting, more of them. Maybe someday I'll look at them again. I don't know, but it just kind of ties in what I was saying before. Like, you play a game and you're like, okay, next one of these that comes out, I want it. Like, I haven't had that experience with a lot of games lately. More often than not, I'm waiting for games to get cheap, and I think that says a lot about games today. But yeah, that's just how it goes, I guess. Alright. Haven't got a clue what I was talking about because I stepped away for a few minutes there, so... New topic. I actually don't have much left to say. I don't usually have to come up with so much to talk about. Usually I'm just like in the moment in the race. This turned into like a podcast on the state of NASCAR gaming or something. Yeah. So at this point, as you can see, I passed Harvick there as he came off pit road, and I felt pretty sure that when this cycled through, I would be back in the lead. Amazingly, with that bad entrance to pit road, I really didn't think that would be the case, but I'm really fast at this point on fresh tires, and so as you can see, I'm just leaving him at this stage, and so yeah, those first couple laps with fresh tires, it really didn't matter how bad I got onto pit road. And right here, I believe, yeah, I took the lead. So there you go, and that was like my fastest lap. It was like a 46:20 at that point. So I was just blistering it around the track. It was pretty sweet. And it felt really good to be doing so good 2 races in a row after the travesty of that whole nationwide experience. And I should say the second half of this video, pretty much second half, is a nationwide race. So we've got that to look forward to. But yeah, I feel like I did cut shortly here, because basically what I'm doing here, I just continue to do, and that was lay down fast freaking laps. So yeah, coming up here in a second, we will see the lap counter jump. Keep your eye on the lap counter. Boom, like 9 laps. At this point, tires are starting to wear out, but we weren't gonna have to worry about fuel or anything like that, obviously. And it was 2 to go, and that's when I decided to cut back in, because nothing really happened other than, you'll note, 7-second lead. I was just on cruise control. Even as the tires started to wear out, I got a little bit wide, I think, out of this corner. Yeah, cut into the grass. But otherwise, I was pretty much still knocking down decent lap times, and I was just killing the rest of the field. And like I said, it felt really good to do this, and I think we're in for a really solid shot at the Truck Series Championship. I'm not sure if we'll pull it off, because we could have a bad race and be set back again. But if we can maintain contending for wins for the rest of the races, we can definitely do it, and that's awesome. We need that. I just don't know what we're ever gonna do with the nationwide issue, but we'll find out, I guess. We'll see how the next race goes, huh? And we'll move on from there. I'm trying to think. I know I did start, something else I can talk about. That series on NASCAR 2005. I did start that series on that other channel I had, Racing in WWE, where I was just going to do racing videos and WWE videos all the time. That didn't actually end up panning out very well. And by the way, we won. Just nonchalantly, not even mentioning that part, but it was pretty obvious. We could have coasted the last half a lap practically. But yeah, that channel didn't pan out the way I wanted it to, because I really don't know why. Honestly, I just felt like it wasn't gonna grow in the way that I wanted it to reach the level that my main channel here is at, and so I was afraid to spend so much time on it because I'm just taking away from stuff that I could have on my main channel. But in the same token, it wasn't stuff that I was going to put on my main channel, and in doing so, I probably disappointed some people. Oh, here we are. We're going to be starting last at Richmond in this nationwide race, by the way. But yeah, I feel like I disappointed some people who really liked the 30 Years of WrestleMania WWE series, the one episode of Universe that I was going to do this whole series based on, like, ideas for matchups and feuds and all these different things I was going to do. That never panned out. And then with NASCAR 2005 and with Need for Speed and just a lot of different racing games to go through, like career mode and such, didn't really work out because I just ended up abandoning it. And I guess I don't really have a good excuse for that. It just felt like it was time taken away from my main channel, and so I just kind of stopped putting stuff up. But that was during the time when I didn't have very good internet either, so it was taking a lot of time to get videos up on that channel and all that. So I don't know. I'm considering revisiting NASCAR 2005. Will I do it on that channel? I don't know. Maybe if this game continues to have problems and I finish up the inside line chase, maybe 2005 could shift to here. Maybe I could just start fresh with that and do that here, or I could continue it on that channel. I don't know. It's something to think about. As far as WWE 2K14, I don't know. I actually had an idea recently for some videos I might want to do of that. I did a little stream the other night too that was pretty fun, messing around with character creation and such. But I don't know. I didn't get 2K15. I got it for the PS4 on release day. Played it for a couple of hours, and then sent an email to Amazon saying I wanted a refund, and they gave me one. It was so freaking awful. The PC version on Steam seems better, but I don't know. The only thing that's going to make it better is the modding community once they get to that point, and that's years away. So there's really no reason to pay full price for it, in my opinion, right now. It was on a little bit of a sale during the summer sale, but just not enough to merit me doing that because I was already focusing on getting a couple of bigger games than that anyway. So with 2K14, it's like it's older. People probably don't care about it anymore. There's probably only so much you can do with it. Blah, blah, blah. Limited roster. But I don't know. I might still do that. So at some point, the Racing in WWE channel might actually do something again. It's hard to say. It really is. I don't know. It's hard to plan things out like that when I've added so many new things to my plate. For those of you who don't know, I did an update video talking about it. I've launched a secondary channel that is basically a place for live streams, the footage from live streams to go, and a couple of the mature Let's Plays that I was doing are getting moved there just to distance them from the overall family friendly feel of this channel. It just didn't fit in certain things like GTA 5 and all that. So that channel is going to serve as basically, I mean, basically the two channels are basically one thing. Oh man, that was really frustrating too. I could see it coming more so than I could when it happened the first time, but it was annoying. But anyway, they're basically two halves of the same whole. It's just that there's certain things going to be on one and not the other. And I'm working on this schedule that I don't know if it'll be in effect by the time you see this. It might be. But the schedule is going to incorporate both of them as well as the Minecraft John channel. So it's like adding more stuff still using the Racing WWE channel just seems kind of dumb. So realistically speaking, if I do more NASCAR 2005 videos, it would make more sense probably to just do them on here. So yeah, that's a thing that's, you know, that I'm thinking about, because I want to keep a NASCAR series going. You guys love it. There's a bunch of you who subscribe just for this. And when I switch games, you know what? You're still loyal and you're like, okay, well, you know, we like this too. You give it a thumbs up and you leave a comment, all that good stuff. Even if I don't continue the ones you want, you let me know that, but then you still support the ones that I'm doing, and it's like great. And I can't just stop doing NASCAR videos, even though a lot of these games frustrate me to no end. Yeah, it's just not something that I feel comfortable doing. Also, you'll notice I skipped there, where I skipped like 11 laps. That was a crazy moment that just happened there. The guy got knocked up out of the track. And then I think I skipped a few more laps. Yeah. Like nothing happened during that whole stretch. Like 20 laps of just riding around. It's crazy. But anyway. So yeah, it's not going away. Okay, I decided to pit here. It's not going away. NASCAR videos are not going away. I did 2 tires here because I thought that would be a good idea. I thought that I could possibly get myself to the lead and make something happen. So that was a strategy I went with for here. But yeah, so you can definitely count on there always being a NASCAR series going forward, unless something crazy happens. I just don't know exactly what they'll be at all times. Just know that this Sunday slot, there's going to be a NASCAR video. If I can help it at all, there will be a NASCAR video. But yeah, that 2-tire pit stop was so slow that I don't even know if I gained anything from that. At this point, I remember talking about that, like, was that even worth it? We'll see. But anyway, so there's a lot of things that I just don't know going forward if we're going to be able to get Dirt to Daytona back, if this game's ever going to work out its issue with the nationwide contract glitch, if, you know, whatever. If NASCAR 15 would be worth getting, if NASCAR 16 will be good, but just trust me that in some way, shape, or form, I'm going to keep a NASCAR series going. I might even go back to NASCAR Thunder 2003 because I really like that game, and the career mode is really challenging. But I have had success with it in the past, so I know that I can do it. Some of my most memorable moments from NASCAR gaming, which had nothing to do with videos, was way before I ever did videos, came from Thunder 2003. It was just such a solid game. There's not a lot of other series, there's not like other series in it and stuff that you can do, but at the same time, you really don't need that in that game because it just feels like a, I don't know, a realistic experience, because there's certain things you can do to the setups that just feel like they actually make a difference, and you can push the limits of your engines, and just, it's so good. But yeah, so who knows, but I'm just glad that you guys continue to like these videos, no matter what they might be. So at this point, I realized that I only gained like 3 spots taking 2 tires. And my left side tires were already worn, so it's like maybe not the best idea, but what did help was the adjustment that I made to loosen the car up. And you'll notice that I'm actually, gaining some time on these guys now. So these next few laps, I'm going to be fighting, digging, scratching, and clawing against these people you see on the screen right now. Except for that little cut there where several laps went by and nothing happened. At this point, I started using the Intimidate thing to try to put some air on the back end there and get people loose. And it actually started working. I never used the Intimidate thing, but like, it's suddenly, I realized this track made it useful. On some tracks, it's not useful at all. But this track, it was working pretty good. So you'll see me use that from time to time. But anyway, so yeah, I don't really know what the future will hold, but there will hopefully always be a NASCAR video on Sunday. And those of you who have supported these all, and that was a great one there. It feels kind of cheaty, but at the same time, I didn't really care at this point. I was just frustrated. But this was me breaking into the top 10 after starting last in this piece of crap car, and I was really proud of that. But yeah, just the fact that you've shown support through all these different series and the problems and losing episodes and starting over and just different things that have happened, I really do appreciate that. And hopefully you continue to enjoy the stuff I do. And I would like to say too, I don't know how many of you watch the other stuff. I know you really enjoy these, racing sim games or whatever, but I do a lot of other videos, and they never do as well as these NASCAR videos for the most part. But hopefully you maybe take some time to check those out. Like my Mario Kart series, it's also racing. It's just a little more arcadey, I guess you'd say. But the online, my Road to 7,000, is so intense sometimes, and I get so salty. Makes for fun videos. So be sure to check those out too. But also, maybe feel free to suggest some other things that you might want to see. Those of you who are fans of these videos, are there other racing games that you would like? Like, for example, I have Need for Speed, the reboot of Hot Pursuit. I have the old Hot Pursuit 2 on the GameCube, which I don't know if I'll be able to record. I have to still figure that out. That was a fun game. I have Need for Speed Underground, Shift. So a lot of the Need for Speed titles. So if you'd be interested in seeing those, let me know. Oh gosh. I forgot how crazy that scenario was. I was really mad at that point too, because I thought I'd just thrown away my top 10 finish. But yeah, so you can let me know that stuff. And that helps, like I said, to plan out what videos can go up. If there is an issue with a NASCAR video, that maybe I could do another racing game that you would like. I know some of you did like that F1 game, but like I said, I just don't feel like it was a good fit, because if I use the assists, then I'm not going to win races. If I don't use the assist, then most of the tracks I'm going to end up making at least one mistake, and one mistake in career mode is it. You're done. So I was getting pretty loose here too at this point, but I was determined to get that spot back, and I did right here. But yeah, so like I said, anything else that you might be interested in, be sure to let me know that. If it's a game I don't have and you want me to check out, you can tell me that too, and maybe I can give it a look-see. There just aren't a lot of other racing games that would make sense to do. I do have some of the old Burnout games, but I just don't think they'd make for great video, to be honest. Plus, I think they were just PS2 games, so the quality would be pretty rotten too, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, you can see here, man, they wanted past me so hardcore, and I was getting really loose, and I was freaking out because I'd fought so hard, and If I had let one of them by, I would have been letting several of them by, and I would have lost my top 10. And then look, tire goes red. Left front tire goes red, and I just start handling worse than ever. But I am just like, smurf all of y'all. And somehow I had a fantastic 3 and 4 there. You see me put a little gap on him, and I was just like, I'm willing this car around the track, just willing it. And I was skating all over the place. You can't even really tell in the video, but I was just making all of these little adjustments on the control stick. That right there, I don't know what happened. I think he drove it in too deep. When I blocked, he went back up, and they maybe made contact or something. But it bought me some space until Mule drives up, and I'm just like, no, 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 no. I was just freaking 4-wheel drifting off that corner. It was like a dirt track race, I'm telling you right now. And then I spin out, but I held on to 9th. What a crazy freaking race. To come back from starting last to finish in the top 10, I was really proud. It felt really good. It honestly did. Whew, it is hard to sit and talk for an hour when you're not actually playing the game and you're actually talking more than you normally would. And my throat is so sore because I've been recording for days. Like, I'm trying to stockpile and stuff, so it's just like my throat is shot. But anyway, so then I had a call, and I was like, let me guess, I've been fired, and I was. So, yup. I was so ticked off at this point, and rightfully so, I think. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, honestly. So you can see, sitting there 8th in the points, had some good runs, got fired again. So I thought, well, let's go look at the contracts now. No contract offers. So I don't know what to say. I think the chances of that happening, like, I'd need $3.5 million to buy the worst team. You know, I'd need that, like, 5.8 or whatever to get that team that I was with that one time. Like, that's not going to happen. I just hit $1 million. So it's going to be a while before we could do that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this crazy video. I hope you enjoyed. There was some good stuff that happened. I'm glad I was able to share that with you. And thanks for listening to me ramble. Like I said, leave your ideas in the comments below. Like if you enjoyed. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.